Robert Calvin was temporarily a
Why would you
garbage
do
man
that
for
at
a
work?
city department
He's got to
in
be
Los
the dumbest
Angeles
son
one
of a
summer
bitch.
because a guy quit. Originally, his job was only to
Oh,
consist of
dear.
mowing grass and whatnot around town. However, he and his temporary team received a call from the mayor one day, requesting that they go pick up the remaining stuff in an evicted tenant's apartment. The collectors arrived and found that there were clothes everywhere, a bed, some other furniture, and a couch.
Oh, man,
The
you can tell
place was
some crackheads
absolutely
live there, huh?
disgusting.
Yeah,
Along with the
that's
clothes,
jank.
garbage was scattered
Jesus.
everywhere. The rugs were stained. There were even
Oh,
holes in the wooden
okay,
living room
oh.
floor. When going
And they
to help
tore
the
that
two
place
guys lift the
up.
bed and couch,
Terrible.
Robert had
That's
noticed
jank.
empty vials laying around the floor. He told his
See there?
coworkers
It
to be
used to be like
cautious
a
as
crack
he knew there was
house
a
or a dope
possibility
den,
of
you know?
needles having been stuffed in the furniture. After taking a closer
God.
look, Robert and his coworkers realized that this guy had shoved dirty
Oh!
needles down his couch and bed in hopes of someone picking it up and getting stabbed.
Yeah,
Tucked
so,
further
get
beneath the
AIDS or
couch
some shit
cushion
like
was a
that.
small crumpled up note saying, "You're
Yeah,
not
this
getting
guy.
off this easy." What
See
was
there?
found in the trash
Yeah.
can in the backyard was even more disturbing. Filled to the brim was a trash can
Oh,
full
that's
of worn-out
creepy.
children's dolls.
No shit.
And in most of the dolls' tiny plastic arms were tiny holes
Nah,
assumed
that's
to have come
nice.
from the needles.
Now, what kind of psycho
It was
does
safe
that
for the
shit?
workers to assume that the man who had been evicted
With
from the
little
house
dolls, you
had
know?
his fair share of illegal drugs.
What's with the... Oh!
A
Trash
Reddit
cans.
user named
That's
Georgie
some insane
P,
shit,
who happens to
man.
be a garbage man,
Oh,
who has a number
my
of posts relating to
God.
sanitation
Oh,
work,
no.
shared his story in a
But
Reddit
more
post
importantly, why
asking
some son of a
garbage
bitch
men what was
sending
the
us a
most
disc like
disturbing
this,
things
you know
they
what I mean?
found in people's garbage.
Because they're just not
Georgie
all
works
right
in
in the
North
head.
Carolina, and he explained that despite what people may think, garbage men are nosy and do like to peek a bit through people's garbage bins before dumping them into the trucks. Well, one particular day when he did that at a corner house in Winterville, North Carolina, he found a white, half-sealed plastic bag, and through the
Oh,
opening
no.
up top was a sketchy-looking picture of a young girl. Georgie took the bag out, opened it, and found that there was at least a pound's worth of images of the
No.
same young girl, who appeared to be about 13 years old. He called his coworker over to check it out with him. Some images were school portraits, but most of the others were a lot creepier.
Oh, that's horrible.
Most of them
Some
seemed to have been
pervert, you
taken
know?
without the girl's knowledge. Some
13
appeared
years
to have been
old.
taken through an upstairs window
You're
aimed
stupid
to a
chicken,
house
get
across
the
the
hell out of the
street,
way.
specifically
You're stupid
zoomed
chicken,
into
get
a
the
room
hell
with
out
the
of the
light
way.
on,
Oh,
and
man.
with the same young girl getting
Creepy.
dressed in her bedroom. It seemed as they went through the pile, the images only got more and more
See, when they catch a
disturbing.
fucker like this, I hope they just
Georgie
kill
told
him,
his
you know what I
coworker to
mean?
call the police as he continued flipping through the images. The
Should bring back
creepiness
hanging
levels
for the
peaked as
people, I
high as
guess.
they could go, however, when Georgie held up an image that was taken in a dark room. It became clear what it was very quickly. It was a picture of the little girl
No.
sleeping in her bed,
No.
taken
Oh,
by
that's-
somebody standing
Oh,
right
God.
above her bed. The owner of the house was home, and he was arrested that same day and possibly
God,
charged
standing over
with
a bed,
stalking
that's
of a
really gonna be
child,
horrible,
child
like-
Yeah.
pornography,
He
since
went
some
in
of
the
the
house.
images captured the young girl.
Thank God he
while she
didn't
was
do
nude,
nothing, you know what I
hands
mean?
breaking and entering.
That creeped me out then.
Hey, thank God he
This
didn't
last
do
mention on
nothing,
this
you know?
list is told in first
Except take a
person point of
picture.
view
Still
by a
knowing
current
that-
sanitation worker named
Oh.
Hugo. I work as a garbage man in Manchester. I've been doing this for 11 years, so I've seen all of the weird shit that gets thrown out. Or at least I thought I did before this.
Now, he said
It was a day like
Manchester.
any other.
Does that
The
look
shift
like
was going
a
as
garbage
quick as
truck
could
in
be
the UK,
expected,
or is that
and there
different?
wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, it's different.
The truck
I
emitted
don't
its
know.
ear-piercing
Yeah.
shriek as it came to a stop. The sound I'm beyond used to, which signaled when I needed to hop off the truck and chuck the unwanted waste inside yet another plastic container into the giant pungent truck that has become a part of my life. However, at this one particular house, in this one particular container, was a Lenovo laptop. I picked it up, and it seemed to be in pristine condition, besides the grease and the little pieces of food that it had collected from sitting in a garbage can. But rubbing it off with my heavy work shirt, it was about as good as new. I naturally took a look at the house to see if the owner saw me take their laptop.
You're stupid
And to my
chicken, get the hell
surprise,
out of the way.
there was somebody standing by the window behind the partially open curtains. He was kind of peeking at me as if he didn't want me to see him. It was actually quite disturbing. Now I felt weird taking the laptop, so while still holding it, I took the garbage can and dumped it into the truck while pretending to do the same with the laptop. Instead, however, I placed the laptop on the back platform of the truck, returned the plastic pail to the curb, knocked on the side of the truck.
Hey, that guy,
and
he's
moved along
thinking,
to the next
right
house.
on, man. I scored. I got me a brand new laptop. Some dumb son of a bitch threw it
As I
out.
picked up the can at the next house, I noticed the guy from the previous house coming out to check his empty pail, and then turning to me and walking over to me. I returned the favor and met him halfway, and he just cut straight to the chase and asked me if I took his laptop. I felt my heart drop a bit for some reason.
Now that
I stuttered
would
at first,
that would freak
telling
me
him
out
I
right
threw it in the
there.
back of the truck. What he asked me next shocked me. He asked if he could check the back of the truck to look for the laptop. Now I felt really awkward, but recovered by telling him firmly I have no time to play games. We are on a tight schedule. I simply walked back to the truck, dumped the contents of the pail into the truck, and we moved on. Luckily that block ended with that house, and we were able to sail away from that creep. The wind in my face had never felt so good. His reaction to my possibly taking his laptop only made me grow even more curious as to what was on it, which is why I lied and told him I threw it out in the first place. When my shift ended, I took the laptop to my car and drove home. On the way, I couldn't stop staring at that laptop. I just had to know what was on it. I pulled to the side of a deserted road and turned on the laptop, which surprisingly had battery left. The computer loaded up fast, like less than 30 seconds, and there was no password to the account, which was just titled Roy. I was wondering why he would throw this away. My question was answered very quickly. Scattered across the messy desktop were folders on top of folders, all titled very ambiguously. For example, one titled Fun Powder, another titled V288, and another titled Fruit Patch Boys. Inside all of the folders I clicked on were hundreds of videos and pictures of underage porn. I could only open about 4 before I started to feel sick to my stomach.
Look at all
I
that
ended
shit.
up dialing 911 and
That's
reporting
some
this guy
crazy
for child
shit, isn't it?
pornography possession. Now, the guy had pictures of himself on the computer, so I was not digging my own grave here by calling 911.
Wow.
However, as I should have guessed, the guy skipped town. I found a lot of messed up shit during my career, but never anything as bad as this. Maybe this guy would have gotten away with it had he just been smart and tucked the laptop underneath another bag.
Oh my god. There's some bloody weirdos out there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Some sick son of a bitches, huh?
That's crazy.
Ooh! There's another video.
Yeah.
10 horrifying things found living inside a human body. Oh!
Oh, God. I'll pass.
You see that?
No, I'll pass.